In May of 2018, we were invited to help test the new 2019 Moomba Makai. Normally when we do this, we review a production boat, usually the first off the line used for promotions and photo shoots. This time was different. This was an unfinished R&D boat. The hull, ballast, and flow 2 system were all working, and the interior was finished, but the software and a few other things were not finished. So Matt Brown, the head of Moomba product development, was at the helm and setting everything up for us manually. My whole family was with me and we all loved the boat. It was big, roomy, comfy, and was well equipped with a more value-oriented price. Now we can like a boat with all of those things, but to love it, we have to love the wave. Well, we loved this wave. It was great. Lots of push, long. RG and Thomas really liked the shape and the lip, and they were getting massive airs. We never shared much of the footage of this review, which you can see here. This has started a few conspiracy theories that the boat was really bad or something of that nature. The reason we didn't share is that it was really windy and our drone was giving us serious problems. We just didn't feel like we were doing the boat justice. We planned a round 2 with the production boat, but then there was the horrific campfire, and then last year we went out with the 2020 Makai but got hit with weather. Just bad luck, no conspiracies. If you watched our review of the 2020 Super SA, I did a 5-year history of the super boats we have reviewed. It's a great video if you haven't seen it, and you should watch it. To summarize, the first 2 boats before the model year 2018 had great waves, but required a bit more list to get a clean wave, especially on the goofy side. I bring this up because even though this Makai was a 2019 model year boat, the Moomba tech is usually a bit behind the Supras, and this Makai had that same characteristic as the pre-2018 Supras did. We are going to talk about this more later. Even with that, we had a great time and the wave was outstanding for all of us. Now fast forward to the spring of 2020, and I was getting a lot of questions and comments about how to set up the Makai, and then there were those conspiracy theories. Also, several folks that had purchased a new Makai or Cayenne were asking for information on the settings I used so they could get the same waves they have seen in my videos. The problem was that I couldn't get those settings on the Makai with that R&D boat, and I had lost my detailed notes on the Cayenne. So I called Skier's Choice, the parent company for Moomba and Supra, and brought them up to speed. I told them that on top of the fact I have all of these requests I want to answer, we really wanted to feature some Moomba boats with great waves that don't break the bank. I also told them I wanted to try out Flow 3.0, and I wanted to spend extra time with the engineers to fully understand the new system and dial the boats in with full video and details. I got to hand it to Skier's Choice. They were all in, so they arranged for us to spend time with at least 3 boats, and hopefully another soon. The 2021 Makai was the first for us to get out on, and here is a good look of that Flow 3 system side by side with the Flow 2 system on another 2021 boat. The Flow 3 system is just like the Flow 2 system, but it adds another component. It has that extra actuator and corner part of the tab that it manipulates. What does this do? Well, it produces yaw, y'all. This gets a bit technical, but why else do you watch my videos, right? So watch this first boat go across the screen. It is traveling down a straight line, and the boat is perfectly lined up with the direction of travel. The center of the bow and the center of the stern are both in line with the direction of travel. Now let's watch that boat again, but this time let's add some yaw. You can see now that the boat is crabbing along where the direction of travel and the direction the boat is lined up or pointing is not the same. This is obviously an exaggeration of the yaw we are speaking of in wake surfing. You notice this when you are driving straight and then turn on your surf system tabs and then have to adjust the steering wheel to keep going the same direction. The surf system causes a bit of yaw. So what does yaw have to do with wake surfing? Do you remember that dirtier wave previous to 2018 on the Supras, especially on the goofy side? Due to the rotation of the prop, the rooster tail wants to roll over on the goofy side more than it does on the regular, and it makes that slop so that you have to list over more to clean it up. So what changed with the new Super Swell 3.0 in the 2018 and newer Supras? Well, they added some yaw in the way the new surf system worked, and that is why the wave on our 2018 Super SL was glorious on both sides. And every Super I have been on from that point has had that great clean wave. It is also because of this change that you can switch from side to side without having to alter the weight. It's just good on both sides perfectly instantly. Is yaw always good? Well, no. If you add too much yaw, you can reduce push and cause other negative effects. So you can see the engineers at Skier's Choice have spent a lot of time to get this just right, because if you have ridden the waves on these boats, you know they do not lack push. So on the Flow 3 system, guess what that little extra corner tab does? It adds yaw, y'all. Comparing the wave and list required on the 2019 Moomba Makai versus the 2021 shows the difference. It did the trick. So now we have a bit of fun. I warned Matt that we were going to really dig into this system and test it out. Probably made him a bit nervous, but you have to love the testicular fortitude of Skier's Choice and Matt Brown to allow me to do this. I told Matt I want to turn off Flow 3 so the Makai will only use the Flow 2 system, and then I wanted to turn on Flow 3 gradually and observe the difference. I wanted to watch Jesse surf and watch the wave and see how it cleaned up and how it affected push. This was not easy since the extra yaw tab on the Flow 3 system is not meant to be adjustable. It engages by the software when you have more weight in the boat, since it is not really needed with lower displacement. So Matt had to get into the engine bay and disconnect a bunch of stuff and put the software into a special hidden mode to allow us to do this, and we got it to work. So here is the wave now, only using Flow 2. You see how that rooster tail is slopping over into the wave and making the lip dirty? Now watch what happens when we partially engage Flow 3. And then fully engage Flow 3. You see that? The position of the boat going through the water is adjusted with a bit more yaw, and the effect is the wave cleans up. That small yaw change moves the back of the boat in relation to the wave, and so the rooster seems to move out of the way. So cool. And Jesse cannot detect any loss of push with this small adjustment in yaw. But check out that wave. Pretty cool, right? This is basically the same thing that is going on with the Super Swell 3.0 system on 2018 and newer Supras, just accomplished in a bit different way. So that was fun, but I wanted to do another experiment. If you have watched my How to Set Up Your Surf Boat series, you will have seen that I don't think adjusting the wave with surf tabs is the best way to get the best wave. It's quick and easy, but it's not as good. What I mean is, on many boats, they have a button or some interface that allows you to quickly adjust to make the wave more rampy, mellow, long, or more short and steep, for instance. What this is doing is adjusting the surf tab to alter the wave. A surf tab that is fully deployed with everything else static will produce a more long, mellow wave, and a surf tab that is partially deployed will make a steeper, shorter wave. At least that has been my experience. But actually, when the surf tab is not fully deployed, the result is artificial in my opinion. For example, check out these interesting cars. These look pretty cool, right? Like supercars, especially from far away. But take a good look, and they are pretty ratchet. They are just VW bugs with a body kit. That is how I look at surf waves that are made when the surf tab is not fully deployed. They kind of look right, but you don't get that full benefit of a properly made wave. So on the Moomba Makai, on the goofy side, a fully deployed Flow 2 surf tab is set at 70 on the dash. This is the default setting. You can see when we pull the Flow 2 up to 60 or 50, the wave gets shorter and steeper, but asking Jesse, the wave had no push and the lip was mushy. So instead, I put the Flow 2 setting back to 70, the default, and then I adjusted the pitch from where it was at 8-ish, which made a nice long mellow wave, and went to a pitch of around 9.5 to 10 degrees. I made this happen by adjusting weight in the boat, and I did not empty any ballast. Look at that wave. It is big, steep, and powerful. Jesse said the push was almost as good as our Super SE. That is a lot of push, and I have done this experiment on several boats and come to the same conclusion, and this is why I say use weight to get your preferred pitch and roll, and leave the surf tabs fully deployed, usually their default. Then you will have the best wave to ride. It is very noticeable. So that is a lot of information, but at the end of the day, what does Wake 9 think of this boat? The 2021 Moomba Makai is an amazing boat with an amazing wave. So much so, especially thinking of the more affordable price and larger size, we could use this boat on a day-to-day basis. If I didn't have any special deal for a wake surf boat, I think this boat would be right at the top of the list to buy for my family. So am I saying that this boat is as good as a brand new Super SA or Super SE? No, it is not. The luxury and fit and finish of the Makai is great, but it's no match for the Super Cousins. Also, the Makai needs a lot of extra weight because it is 1,000 pounds lighter than the SE Dry, and it is about the same size of a boat with almost the same amount of ballast. So we had 1,000 pounds of lead in the boat and a good amount of people to make this wave. You will probably need 1,500 pounds or so more than stock ballast to get this wave with a normal amount of people in the boat. Also, the wave on the SA and the SE are firmer. What is firmer? Well, the wave is harder. If you make the waves on two boats with similar displacement, pitch, roll, speed, and you are riding, you will feel the difference. Put your hand in the water and you will feel the difference with a firmer wave. A firmer wave allows your board to release when doing airs. A softer wave, though, can be more forgiving. A firmer wave is less resistance when you're going down the wave, which makes you feel like you have more push. A softer wave is like riding your skateboard on carpet. It just holds you up a little bit. The Makai wave is not mushy, but it is slightly softer than the SA and the SE, and the SL is also slightly softer than the SA or the SE. The push on the Makai is probably about the same as the Monster SE, but only with more weight so that they are displacing the same amount of water. If you want me to go into more detail about the firmness of a wave, just smash a like and drop a comment. Do not hesitate to buy this boat if you are looking for a $200,000 wave on a $100,000 boat. That is the best way to put it. The SA or SE is a plushier ride and a slightly better wave, but this is outstanding, and you save enough coin to buy a bigger truck, a muscle car, or put one of your dumb kids through college. As far as the lead placement goes, watch my video on how to set up your wave to understand how to place your lead and keep your ballast system at 100 all the way around and maintain your desired pitch and roll. So stay tuned for reviews coming for the 2021 Moomba Cayenne and the all-new 2021 Moomba Mondo, and maybe there might be another one coming up after that.